Okay. I'm about to show you how to do a serratus reach. This is a muscle between the shoulder blade around the rib cage while adding into a little crunch. This exercise is designed to build awareness of the muscle around the rib cage, where we can help facilitate the rib cage opening out laterally to the side, or widening. For those of you who are having an issue where the rib cage is very narrow, and we don't want that narrow rib cage because that is too much of your obliques kicking in, dragging all that pressure downwards. So we're going to use this exercise to help kind of shut off those obliques, and we're going to try to get a widening of the rib cage so that we can have a little bit more balance and uniformity with how you're engaging your core. So you don't necessarily need a band. We'll talk about how to use the band towards the end of the video, but we'll talk about setup first. What you're going to do is you're going to start off in a hook lying position, laying on your back. The goal is to have that awareness of when we're doing a little brace, keeping that kind of flatness or compression in the stomach so that you can maintain that pressure control. So what I'm going to have you do is, without any resistance, we're going to reach those arms up, hands right over the shoulder, elbow straight. I'm going to make a fist with my hand, and this is just for guidance here. You do not have to leave your pinky up. I'm going to right now put my pinky up for a guidance. So what you're going to do is you're going to work on a little bit of a punch happening through the shoulder blade. You want to lead that movement through your pinky. So I want you to imagine that the motion is coming through the shoulder blade. You're going to lift the shoulder blade and punch up, leading through the pinky. What I want you to pay attention to in this exercise is that sensation of the shoulder blades sliding across and widening the rib cage out to the side, okay? So that's that serratus reach, because we're working on that serratus anterior. So in this position, you're going to have both arms just kind of out in front of you. We'll start at 90 degrees. You're going to reach through the shoulder blade, leading through the pinky, and you should feel that the rib cage starts to kind of widen. In this position, just start off with just your breathing. You're going to inhale in through your nose, feel the rib cage widen, and then you're going to exhale, get all of the air out of the lungs. As you're exhaling, really think about that reach to help keep that rib cage wide. You don't want to have an exhale and feel the rib cage narrowing back in. So the goal is, remember, keep everything wide. Okay, so once we go through the reach, we're going to go through a couple of inhale and exhale, trying to maintain that kind of wide lateral movement of the rib cage. And when you're ready, you're going to try to maintain that reach. And on the exhale, still get all the air out of the lungs. You're going to try to exhale and do a crunch at the same time. And then you'll come right back down. The goal is, even though you're crunching, still feeling that widening of the rib cage as you're exhaling and crunching up. Again, the whole purpose is to prevent the rib cage from just squeezing into a narrow angle, cinching together, because we're trying to turn off those oblique muscles on the side as you're using your core. Now, with resistance, you can take a band. And the resistance doesn't have to be very high. It could be light resistance, heavy resistance. You just wanted to make sure that it doesn't interfere with your ability to feel what's happening in the rib cage and feeling that shoulder blade sliding apart to pull the rib cage apart too. I'm going to loop the band around underneath my armpit, and I'm going to lay right back down, and I'm going to reach forward. And now the same thing. I'm going to reach through the pinky, feel the shoulder blade slide apart, feel the rib cage widening out to the side, and then on an exhale, while maintaining that kind of punch and reach forward. And then I'll come right back down. So I'm maintaining that widening the entire time. This is a strengthening exercise to help correct your core imbalances and help you with your posture. So I would like for you to do this 2 to 3 times a week. Try to get about 10 to 15 repetitions per set that you do, and you're going to do at least 2 to 3 sets each time that you do it. So that's going to be the serratus reach, adding in a little bit of a crunch to help build up a little bit of that core imbalance that you may be having.